All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to break down the core ideas from Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is a book that's totally changed the game when it comes to self-improvement. We're going to see how you can get absolutely huge results from changes that feel, well, almost too small to matter.
So let me ask you something, and be honest. Do you want to change your life, but the thought of some massive, heroic effort just feels exhausting? Like you're already overwhelmed? Yeah, if that's you, you are in the perfect place right now. Because the real secret sauce in Atomic Habits is incredibly simple. It's not about waking up tomorrow and changing everything. No way. It's about the amazing power of tiny, consistent actions. Small habits, done over and over, are what lead to those truly remarkable results.
And that brings us to our first huge idea, the power of 1%. See, we have this tendency to think that success requires some massive action. We totally overestimate these big, defining moments and completely underestimate just how valuable making small improvements every single day really is.
Just think about this number for a second. 1%. What if you just tried to get 1% better at something, anything, every day? It sounds like nothing, right? So small, it's almost insignificant. But this is where the magic really starts.
And this chart just shows it perfectly. Look at that. If you get just 1% better each day for a whole year, you end up almost 38 times better than when you started. It's insane. Habits are basically the compound interest of self-improvement. You make these little deposits of effort day after day, and eventually you get this massive payoff.
So the takeaway here isn't just about setting big goals. It's about building the systems that actually get you there. You know, James Clear puts it perfectly. Your goals are what set the direction, but your systems are what actually guarantee you make progress.
And this leads to what might be the biggest mindset shift in the entire book, and that's focusing on your identity, not just your goals. It's a shift from thinking about what you want to achieve to thinking about who you want to become.
And this slide lays it out so clearly. A goal is an outcome. I want to read more books. But an identity, that's a belief about who you are. I am a reader. See the difference? When you start to believe you're that type of person, you naturally start doing the things that person would do. The goal isn't to run a marathon, it's to become a runner.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this is great, but how do I actually build these habits? Well, this is where we get the practical toolkit. Let's talk about the 4 laws of habits. This is the simple, powerful framework for making or breaking pretty much any habit. So the whole thing is a really simple 4-step loop. If you want to build a good habit, you've just got to make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. That's it. So let's break down what each of those actually means. First up, Law 1, make it obvious. Think of your environment as this invisible hand that's constantly guiding your actions. So if you want to read more, don't just leave your book on a dusty shelf. Put it right on your coffee table where you can't miss it. Want to go for a run in the morning? Put your shoes and your workout clothes right by the door the night before. You're making the cue impossible to ignore.
Okay, Law 2 is to make it attractive. See, our brains are hardwired to want to do things that bring us pleasure, so you can totally use this to your advantage. You link a habit you want to build with something you already love to do. For example, maybe you only let yourself listen to your favorite podcast when you're on a run. Suddenly, you start craving the run because you want to hear the podcast. It's brilliant. Then there's Law 3. Make it easy. Honestly, the hardest part of any new habit is just getting started. So you have to reduce the friction, lower the barrier to entry. Instead of telling yourself you're going to read a whole chapter, just commit to reading one single page. Instead of a full 30-minute workout, just start with 2 minutes. The point is to make it so ridiculously easy to start that you can't talk yourself out of it.
And finally, Law 4, make it satisfying. This is what closes the loop. Your brain needs to get some kind of immediate reward to feel like the effort was worth it. This can be super simple, like using a habit tracker and getting that little rush of satisfaction when you check off the box for the day. That little hit of success makes your brain say, hey, that felt good, let's do that again tomorrow.
Now here is where this whole system gets even more powerful. It works in reverse. If you want to break a bad habit, you don't need a new system. You just flip these 4 laws on their head.
I mean, just look at how elegant this is. To break a bad habit, you make the cue invisible. Get the junk food out of the house. You make it unattractive. You focus on the downsides of doing it. You make it hard. Add friction. Like delete the social media apps off your phone so you have to log in through the browser every time. And finally, you make it unsatisfying.
Okay, so let's tie this all together, right? We've talked about these tiny 1% changes, about building systems instead of just chasing goals, and about focusing on your identity. This isn't just a collection of life hacks. It's a whole philosophy for how to get better, bit by bit.
And this right here, this is the whole journey. Your tiny, atomic habits are the building blocks for your systems. Those systems provide the proof that shapes your identity, your belief about who you really are. And in the end, that identity, built one tiny habit at a time, is what shapes your destiny.
So the big takeaway is this: your life doesn't change with one giant leap. It changes one small step, one tiny habit at a time. The real question isn't what huge change can I make tomorrow? It's what's the one small habit I can start today? So, what's yours going to be?